Good afternoon, everyone. This is going to be a little quick today, so let's just get right to it very quickly. I know you all have a lot of questions, but we'll have to just start very quickly. So let's go to the first person. Dave Lauder, Reuters.
Hi, Secretary, Ambassador. This meeting was meant to sort of tee up some potential deliverables for the two presidents to consider when they meet at the end of the month in Beijing. Can you give us an idea of what you agreed to, what those are going forward? And will this meeting take place at that time, given what the President has said about wanting China to help open the Strait of Hormuz?
Okay, well, let's split that up. First of all, I want to absolutely bifurcate that if the President's visit, and I'm saying if the President's visit is postponed, it would have nothing to do with the Chinese making a commitment to the Straits of Hormuz. It would obviously be in their interest to do so, but a postponement would not be as a result of any ask from the President not being met. The postponement, if it happens, would be because the Commander-in-Chief of the United States military believes that he should stay in the United States while this war is being prosecuted. What I would say about our talks here, they were constructive, and they show the stability in the relationship. It is a continuation of Kuala Lumpur, the Busan agreement that was reached with our leaders to continue our work streams. I'll let Ambassador Greer walk through what we discussed.
So what we've concluded today really is the general terms of a work plan between now and the meeting between the presidents, with the idea that there will be potential deliverables at that meeting. We, of course, discussed compliance with the Busan Agreement. This means rare earths, et cetera. From time to time, we will get information from U.S. companies or stakeholders about the status of receiving rare earths, and so we covered issues like that related to the agreement. We also talked about expanding trade exports to China in terms of agricultural goods, energy goods, et cetera. We talked about potentially having even a mechanism with the U.S. and China, almost like what we might call a U.S.-China Board of Trade, just a way to formalize a little bit, identifying what kinds of things should we be importing from China, what kinds of things should we be exporting to China, to really make sure that we can focus on areas of mutual benefit. Those are the kinds of things that we discuss. That's what we expect the leaders to be talking about when they meet.
Great. Let's please move to the next question. I believe it's AFP. Gentleman to the right. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Mr. Secretary Mark Landau of the New York Times. I'm just wondering whether you've been made aware of any Chinese retaliation in the wake of the 301 investigation, and did the investigation and or a Chinese response come up during the 2 days of talk?
Well, there were very detailed discussions in terms of the new tariff authorities we will be implementing. It's the 122. We discussed the USTR and Ambassador Greer's investigations, but in terms of retaliation, as I said, there's great stability in the relationship, and the purpose of these meetings is to prevent any retaliation, as we saw this time last year.
And I would say we started these talks really by giving them a preview of what we're doing on U.S. trade policy as we adjust to the Supreme Court. Remember, the President's trade policy hasn't changed. Our tools may change, and we're conducting these investigations. We don't want to prejudge them, and we had a good conversation with our counterparts about that process.
All right, guys, we have time for one last question. I'll take it from, I believe that's AFP. Yes.
No, I am with the Epoch Times.
Very good.
Okay. Jennifer from the Epoch Times. I wanted to ask you if you have spoke about the war in Iran, aside from the question of the Strait of Hormuz, and then, if so, what did your counterparts say?
Well, again, China receives about 50% of its energy needs from the Gulf, so there was a discussion of that. But these are economic talks. We're not the State Department. We're not defense minister to defense minister. So we talk more about the economic ramifications. And we encourage the Chinese. The Chinese have cut off exports of refined products and fertilizers, and we encourage them to be good international partners.
right,
So one more, if I can, just
Guys,
briefly.
sorry guys, we do have to get going right now. This is going to be the end for today.
Sorry, just briefly, I just wanted to ask, Mr. Secretary, sorry, you talked about the possibility of the President not going. Would you say now that basically as long as the war continues, that the Commander-in-Chief can't leave the country, can't go to China?
No, that's not what I said. I said if it is postponed. I said I was making it very clear that if it is postponed, the reason it would be postponed would not be because the President insisted on the Chinese taking an active role in the Strait of Hormuz.
Great. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. Have a good